Hello, these are notes for 5-2 bisector in a triangle. Perpendicular lines that intersect to form right angles. So here we have a right angle. This is a perpendicular to this other line right here. Bisector cut into two equal segments. Perpendicular bisector is going to be a perpendicular to a segment at its midpoint. So we're going to be perpendicular here at the midpoint of this segment. A ray that divides an angle into two congruent angles is an angle bisector. So I have an angle and it cut it into two congruent angles. Perpendicular bisector theorem. If a point is on the perpendicular bisector, of a segment, then the point is the equal distance from the endpoint of the segment. So in this problem, if this is equal to this, then AC is going to be congruent to BC. These two line segments will be equal from the same distance. If a point is the equal distance from the endpoint of a segment, the point is a perpendicular bisector. If a point is on the bisector of an angle, then it's the same distance from the sides of the angle. So if a point's on the bisector like D is, then to go from C to D is the same distance as going from B to D. All right, and the converse is the perpendicular bisector theorem. If a point is equal distance from the side, then the point is on the bisector. All right, so let's take a look at some problems here. On this one, I have an angle bisector. I have a point that's on the bisector. So FD is going to be congruent to BF. So I'm going to write the equation 2x plus 5 is equal to 9x minus 37. Again, I get rid of my smaller letters first, so my x will always be positive. So this will give me 7x minus 37 is equal to 5. This says subtract 37, so I'm going to do the opposite. So I'm going to add 37. So 42 is equal to 7x, so x then is equal to 6. Find FB. So I substitute this back in for FB. 2 times 6. 2 times 6 plus 5. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 5 is 17. So FB is 17. And if I did it right, then FD should be 17. So 9 times 6 is 54, and 54 minus 37 is 17. DK. I got to find DK. All right, so first I need to find out what x is. So 2x is going to equal x plus 20 because this is a angle bisector. So subtract x. So x is going to equal 20. So x is equal to 20. dk is going to equal 10 because hk is 10, so dk is going to be 10. And angle DEH, this angle right here, so x is 20 times the 2 that's here, so this angle is 40 and this angle is 40, so the whole angle then is 80. CD is the perpendicular bisector of AB. So if it's the perpendicular bisector, that means that A, we'll call it K, AK is going to equal BK, but that does not mean that CK is equal to DK. Please try to understand that. So in this problem, AC, because BC is 5, then AC is going to be 5. And BD is, well, AD is 6. So BD is going to be 6 because those are the same distance. And then in the next one, ray QM is the angle bisector of angle TQN. All right, angle TQM, this angle right here, and angle NQM are congruent. MN is equal to 20 then, because TM is equal to 20, and this is an angle bisector, and any point on the angle that's over to the